say.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mediak. And
I knew it.
I'm sorry for all the viewers, but there's a funny little joke that I like to do. Is I try to start the episode whenever Skylar's the least ready. So I asked him if he was ready, and in the sentence of him saying it doesn't matter if he's ready or not, I started it, and he thought that was funny. But it's been a while. For us, only 1 week for you guys, but we recorded the Fury Road episode with the Thunderdome one, so we it's actually been like 2 or 3 weeks for the Mediak gang for getting the podcast back together. And I would like to start off by apologizing that we didn't do Furiosa afterwards. It was just some lame scheduling issues, but we ended up doing a poll, and Skylar got to choose what movies we did next, so we went with Inside Out. If you obviously have seen the thumbnail and read the title.
I blame Chandler.
Why?
I'll accept the blame.
What? Why? What? What does that even mean? Chandler, why were you just so down with it? You were like, yeah, it's my fault. I did that.
He was
I
like,
actually don't
okay,
know
he
what I'm
got
taking
me.
the blame for. I'm trying to write some things down so I don't forget to say it. So I actually don't know what I took the blame for.
That's
But I'd rather not
super
know,
fair, because
so.
I honestly have no idea either, but that's completely okay. Skylar,
He's the reason why we couldn't do Furiosa.
wait, it's Chandler's. He got the movie out of theaters? He kicked it
Yeah.
out? Why? Why'd
Yeah.
you do that, Chandler?
Because it was so good, only I wanted to see it.
That's fair, and it kind of resembles in its box office. So, Skylar, can you explain to us a little bit why you wanted to do this little franchise here?
I picked this franchise because I have not watched a lot of Disney movies growing up, and I get made fun of for it constantly by both Lily and Caden. And
Why
I'm tired
Caden?
of being made fun of.
Caden seems like
Yes,
someone who wouldn't
apparently
watch
Caden
Disney
did.
movies.
Yeah, me and Caden, the people who grew up together. Yeah, he's watched them, and somehow I haven't. I don't know when that could have happened.
That's really
but
weird.
it did, I guess. So, yeah, I'm going through it. I'm watching them now.
You're doing them?
Making up for some lost time. And plus,
Ugh.
I heard Inside Out 2 is really good.
I've heard it
so
was really
I
good too, but I don't know if I've said it on the podcast or just to my friends, but I'm someone who is adamantly against the idea of an Inside Out 2. Like from the second I heard of its concept, I was like, oh, I don't want to see that. And even now, I'm kind of just like, I don't know, I don't want to see that. Kind of. I've heard it's good. My mom, my brother, and my brother's girlfriend are like, it's a good movie and I like it. But like, there's still something in the back of my head that's like, ugh, you know?
It's Chandler. Just don't listen to him.
Dude, I have a little Chandler running around in there, and he's whispering in my eardrums, "Don't go see the movie. Don't go see the movie." And now we have to, because Skylar's forcing me to for the podcast, which is completely fine. I'm actually gonna. I think what I decided. I have a lot of notes, as usual, but I think I'm gonna take the back seat on this one for the most part, because I think just having my initial ideas out there of I don't want to see a second Inside Out would be a good like judge for my opinions on it, and I'll let you guys feel whether or not you think it's because I think that Inside Out is so good I don't want to see another one, or I am so indifferent towards it I would rather not continue the franchise. So I would like to hear Chandler's opinions on the movie.
I see a little switcheroo, like what I did.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to go off of that.
I like it. All right, I'll rock with that idea. Tan, you want to lead off, and then I'll go into mine?
Yeah, I can do that. Should I finesse everyone like Sky finessed us for the fourth one?
Sure, go ahead.
Road.
Yeah, try.
No. I actually really liked it. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was cute and funny. I loved the jokes, honestly. My mom, like, I watched the second half of the movie with my mom, and I think everything went over her head, but that's all right. I still thought they were cute.
Mama Jan.
I actually, one of the jokes was so funny. I wrote it down, and it kind of is only funny to me because I'm a history guy, and like recently, me and G's family have been talking about like presidents, because we play. Do you guys know Heads?
Yeah.
Do you guys know Heads Up? Like
yeah.
The game where we were playing Heads Up recently, and her sister just bought like a $20 pack that had like a shit ton of different things, and one of them is U.S. presidents. So we've been playing that a lot as a joke. So whenever I was watching the movie and I saw we could forget everyone, only keep Washington, Lincoln, and the fat one. I really laughed at
Yeah,
that. I thought that was really, really
I like
funny.
that one as
that was
well.
good.
Yeah, it was so much so that I wrote it down. I'm sorry for interrupting you. You can keep going now.
You're good. I just really liked how they showed how like the memory works inside of the main character, like the orbs, how it created them, and even especially the core memories.
Mhm.
I really just I thought that was really neat and fun, especially with the different colors, just showing like the emotion surrounding that uh that memory. I really liked it actually. I thought it was a really cool concept, and they just carried it out perfectly throughout the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Especially like those janitors, like you said, that were like they're cleaning up
Yeah.
all the memories that were dying or fading. I thought that was really cool. It's like, oh, that perfectly resonates with me. Like I can't remember anything, and like it gets thrown into that huge pit. So I
Mhm.
really liked it. I actually thought a lot of it made sense. One thing that I wrote down that related with me was the bickering of emotions. So like whenever joy and sadness left, and it
Yeah.
was like anger,
Fear and
Disgust
disgust.
and fear
disgust, and fear.
Yeah.
and
Those 3,
disgust.
yeah. When they're like kind of bickering over what decisions to make, that's literally like I feel like sometimes that's how we like solve situations and problem solve. We have multiple voices inside our heads like I should do this, I should do that. No, we should do this. I literally just felt like that's how
Dude,
my
this is
thought process
Skylar. How
is.
the hell did you do this
So
last time? This is gonna be so hard. Like I just keep thinking to myself, I want to go off of what Chandler said there and keep going. But no matter what way I word it, it'll show my opinions of that. I guess the only thing I can say is the idea of core memories is something that ever since I saw this movie, it's just like it's a great phrase, you know? Because there are just
mhm,
memories that are stuck with you no matter what,
mhm.
You just
regardless of the
gotta
emotion.
say your ideas.
I
You just
can't
gotta
though.
say it.
I instead I'm
Who's
going to say
decided
fun
to say
facts.
over?
I'm going to say fun facts about the movie and then ask opinions and then afterwards we could get there because that's technically not my opinion is in the fun fact. So, did you know? Well, you guys didn't know
Do you
this.
want me and Chan to keep going on
Yeah,
our
sure.
things on the movie?
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
And then go into fun facts, and
True.
then we'll guess for you,
That
and
is
then
fair.
you'll say your opinions, and then your
Mhm.
Okay.
um. So, Jan, is there some parts that you didn't like about the movie? Because I doubt this was a perfect movie in your mind.
Oh, I think it kind of irritated me how sadness was just kind of like fucking things up like a lot after repeatedly being told not to. Like it was like, come on, stop
It
doing
was like
that.
a puppy,
You're
you
told
know?
you're told like twice, 3 times why you gotta touch it 4 and 5. So
And
I
then
think
drag
and
your
like
hand along all of the orb
well,
to be
actually I thought that was
dragged
funny.
there.
I thought that was funny, but I mean like whenever she first caused that orb to actually go blue. Like what? How did it happen? Was she like touching it, and or
He was
did it
grabbing
fully
it.
turn blue before everyone noticed?
Yeah.
First noticed.
She just like
Okay,
opened up the core memory thing because she said that one of them looked like it was falling out and she wanted to push it back in. But whenever she touched it, it changes the color.
right. But was there at any point in time whenever she like touched just a regular orb and it
Yeah.
started to go blue and they stopped her?
I,
Yeah.
I think
I feel like
so.
I
I
feel
can't
like
No,
remember the
Joy
order of
looked
it actually
away.
now that you say that.
right. I feel like there was
Joy,
like
like,
there was a
went to
clear
grab it.
indication that she did something, and they're like, "Don't do that." Instead,
Yeah.
she touches a core memory,
Yeah.
which like I realized, okay, this is how the movie is gonna go. It's gonna cause an issue that needs to be solved later on. But I didn't like that. I
Hmm.
really didn't like that, especially after being told not to do that.
Yeah.
But it's. I mean, I think that the movie was still fun after,
The,
regardless.
the flaw that comes from that is definitely in giving because it is true that these emotions they have like one-dimensional characteristics, but they still have personalities to a degree, and the
I
fact
would
that
agree.
they're not just like soul emotions is what's getting at you right there, because I think that the movie was trying to showcase that no matter like what you tell yourself, your sadness is still going to find a way to creep in, even though that it's coming across in a really annoying way because you're so
Mm,
used to trying to attach to characters instead of emotions. I don't know if that sounds stupid or
right.
not or pretentious.
I think it
No,
makes
that
sense.
makes sense to me. Like,
I still have a problem with that too because it's unavoidable. I remember being a kid in the theater and thinking like, fuck sadness, you know?
I
That
felt
was
so
like,
bad for her though, because she was
yeah,
sad.
yeah, but what
yeah,
about Joy? Joy was constantly running around, going crazy, trying to
hmm
keep everything on track.
yeah. Great
So,
antagonist.
like, that was another one.
I guess I can lean that into a little bit of a fun fact. This
I
is the first Pixar movie to not have a bad guy, and I thought that making the main character the antagonist of the movie was really interesting, and it was a
Mhm.
really good like I don't know what the it was a crazy gamble for Pixar, especially since like it was their bread and butter to do bad guys and evildoers, and to do something conceptual like this, it was just different.
Um, I will say I did really like it, and like I wasn't sure going into this movie how I was gonna feel, but I mainly just wanted to watch the second one, so I was like, I have to watch the first one, might as
Wait,
well.
you've never seen this?
So
This is your first time watching this movie?
yeah, this is my
Oh,
first time watching a lot of these Disney movies.
Chan, is this your first time
Like,
watching it?
second, but I
Okay.
forgot the first time.
Okay.
so this is my first time watching it,
Hmm.
going through, which is like okay. I will say my other pick. I was talking to you about it, but Chandler didn't know it was gonna be the Batman because
Hmm.
I just wanted to watch that movie again.
Right.
But I was like, I should pick movies I haven't watched yet,
To get pure reactions,
and
yeah.
uh, I won't say it because it's a spoiler for what we watch and stuff like that. But like that was like, okay, maybe I should pick something along the lines of this. So I did went with this, and I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I will say I enjoyed it far more than I thought I would have. So I liked all the mini personalities that the emotions got, which is what you were talking about before.
Right.
I like how Joy was running rampant, trying to keep everybody happy,
Yeah.
like keep everything going. I like how Sadness was like really gloomy and wasn't really listening. It was kind of just like stuck in her own head. Everything she did was her fault and everything like that. She just wanted to make it just a little bit better. She just wanted to help out somebody, and she kept making it worse. And then I like the one specific scene. Well, I liked Fear, but there was one
Fear
specific
was funny,
scene
yeah.
that Joy was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, can you make a list of fears for the first day of
And he was
school?"
like already had it.
He's like on it, and he pulls up like 50, like I don't know, like like 5,000 pages, and then it was like, okay, so our biggest ones are like asteroid, and quicksand, and the teacher calling on us randomly. And it's like, ooh,
Dude, the
like I
funny
thought
thing
that
was,
one was funny.
during the movie while I was watching that, I thought to myself, man, Skylar's really gonna like this joke. I'm really happy
I
that
did.
you pulled through with that, because I thought that was one of the funnier jokes in the entire movie. Just because like
Yeah,
that was the
yeah,
worst possible one.
yeah. After asteroid and quicksand.
Yeah.
Teacher calling on you. It's just it's very relatable because
It
whenever I
was,
was like
yeah.
8, whenever I had to move schools, that was my worst thing. I hated being singled out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I
Can I
related to
say
that one a
something
lot.
about what you said about Joy in the beginning?
Yeah, go for it.
Did you say you liked how she was trying to keep everything together?
Yeah, she was running rampant everywhere,
I
waking up
Can I
early.
say the opposite? I thought I didn't like how she micromanaged.
Chan's
I thought that was a bit much.
So there's not a right or wrong answer for how you enjoy that, but Chan is it going down a quote unquote right direction, because that was one of the ways that they tried to show off Joy as being the antagonist of the movie, by showing that she was trying to be forceful and controlling instead of helpful. And at the
I
end of the
took
movie, she tried to be better as a person and include all the other emotions in with their
As an
table.
emotion, not a person emotion.
Yeah,
I took it as like her only priority was keeping, oh my gosh, why
Riley.
am I blanking? Riley happy.
And that's
It's the
correct.
only thing that mattered.
That's
Yeah.
very true, but she was overlooking the other emotions in the pursuit of doing that, which was causing problems. But I didn't mention anything earlier because it is a good thing that you enjoyed that, because that's something that you connected with, but the movie definitely was trying to showcase that as a bad quality.
I took it as, like, the emotions needed her to do that because if like, whenever I saw anger, fear, and disgust running Riley, they got her to run away.
Well, yeah, whenever it's
But
solely them, we need all of them to work in unison. And to go off of that, Skylar, actually, one thing that I wrote down as an interesting point was that every time we saw a different head, they had a different like leader. Like the different kids obviously had Joy as the leader because they're children, and they that's just kind of how it is, and they probably switch out as time goes. But the mom's was Sadness. She was the one that was in the center and talking and in control the most, and the dad's was Anger, and there it switched around, and obviously at the end they had the one where all of them were anger. But I actually thought that was like a super interesting characteristic. Like,
and their designs are different too. I
mhm.
liked it.
Yeah, I
Well,
wrote that down too. I like that.
that's actually something that G really hates about this movie. I quote, I noticed I didn't say me. I'm trying to be as vague with my emotions as
Yeah,
possible. But G
for
said
sure.
that she really dislikes how Riley's emotions are the only ones that don't represent her. And every other character in the movie and in the sequel and the short, they like whenever we see their heads, they have some sort of characteristic of that person, except for Riley.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I will say Riley is still only like what, she was like
Well,
11 in this movie?
yeah, but they even show other kids with
Yeah.
stuff like that. I don't have a huge problem with that because we spend the most time in Riley's head, so we need to have their base like for the audience. But
Yeah.
that is something that G has a nitpick about whenever we watch this movie.
I don't know, like, I feel like they're all, like, fine in their own aspect, like, to compare it to, like, ice cream, like, there has to be, like, a standard, like,
Yeah,
vanilla-looking one, and then from
yeah.
there, you can stem out and get different ones,
Well,
but you need that base,
at the end of the
and,
day, this is all conceptual anyway, so it
yeah,
doesn't
none of this
matter.
is actually yeah, none of this actually does anything, at
Yeah,
least I think, but,
hopefully that'd be interesting.
oh, to get back onto the design and stuff, I really liked the colors they picked for each emotion and their outfits that went with it. I
Hmm.
thought how they, like, designed them was so, like, good and, like, kinda like what I would envision some of them would look like, and,
I
so
wonder
I
if
thought
that's
that was
because you grew up with it a little bit, or if like I don't know. I because it's hard to. I know you didn't grow up with it because you never saw it, but it's impossible for you to have not seen what the base emotions look like at some point. I don't know. That's a conceptual thing. I'm gonna test that with my kids. I think I'm gonna like get them to write down what colors they think represent emotions, and then show them this movie, and then have them do it again, but over a course of time, so they don't realize I'm doing that.
yeah, I'm
Um,
also like the like outfits in particular, like
yeah,
Joy's was like a green dress,
I loved.
Anger's was like business clothes.
Yes, I love that
Um,
one.
and then, like, Disgust was, like, super dressed up and, like, basically ready for Fashion Week, and I thought that was cool. But, oh, wait, I'm gonna look at my note. There was
So
something.
in
Oh,
the, I was gonna fill in this. Did you find the thing you were looking for?
I immediately looked down and
Okay,
saw it.
that's good.
I like being able to like, whenever Riley found out they were moving and she got to the place after imagining it, she's like, "Okay, maybe it's gonna be fine," and then it's like the candy land, the all the other, like, imagined like, the ones that clearly just could not be actually it. And she got there and disgust immediately hit her face, and she was instantly disappointed
Yeah,
and then you saw her emotions, and then you saw it. I like that part
I,
because you
I
saw them, like, kicking, like, instantly.
I wrote something down whenever they got to the new house. The second that everyone just looked up and was really sad, I wrote, "I also hate California."
Yeah.
No one else would want to live there. I would also be very sad if I lived there.
Um, what was it? I also really like, how, like, the emotions kind of dictate Riley's actions. And, like, you can see, like, the slight, like, processing time between it. Like, whenever she's at the house, she's, like, super disappointed. Joy takes over, and it's, like, Hockey Island, and she plays, like, hockey with her parents, and then, like, all that stuff. I also really like the islands. I thought the
Mhm.
islands were a cool concept.
I just really that concept of core memories in general is just like
Mhm.
fantastic, and I don't think there was ever I can't quote this because I'm like 22 and I haven't read everything, but I've attempted to read older literature as much as possible, and I don't think I've read anything yet that has like properly put into an example that concept to me throughout any book or media, and I really enjoy that aspect of this movie.
And
Especially
then
them changing over the course of the movie because your person like you don't think about it very much because you're you, but your personality changes constantly, whether it be over the course of 10 years or 2 years. It, your core memories, like the importance of them and the different emotions you feel towards them, it's very realistic the way that the movie portrays Riley's changing like
I
islands.
also
Mhm.
like the fading memories and then the imaginary friend walking around with all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Um
I actually never
I
had
would
an imaginary friend, so I didn't really like connect much with Bing Bong. But
Yeah,
I
same
could
here.
I could
awesome.
understand someone being really attached to that character because of nostalgia reasons, like their own connections. You know.
Yeah. I connected with Bing Bong, then the imaginary rocket ship.
Mm-hmm.
Not like specifically the rocket ship part, but like the imaginary
Something.
friend, like,
Yeah.
keeping, yeah. And
I
then having
have
something.
something like that. I'll talk about later.
Um, I will not lie. I was thoroughly shocked that Joy fell down the fading memory. I don't know why. I never thought that was gonna happen, even though they like kind of hinted at it the entire time.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is not gonna happen. It's just something they want me to think is gonna happen. And then she's gonna get like saved or something.
I
And she
kind
fell
of
down.
felt like they were leading up for Bing Bong just in like the dialogue and the delivery of lines for him to be a bad guy, if that makes sense. Like just in certain
Mm.
things, like him saying like I would
Oh
never
yeah,
mislead you or something like
about that
that.
dangerous sign.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah,
something that my brain is going
danger.
like
Yeah, the shortcut.
that seems like a MacGuffin of some kind. That's not MacGuffin. That's a Chekhov's quote. That's like a something that makes me be like, you give him some bad guy qualities right now.
Yeah,
Mm,
I agree.
you're looking real suspicious.
Yeah, exactly. But I didn't think because especially with Pixar now, like after watching Frozen and knowing that, like, it doesn't matter. We could actually talk about Frozen on another day. We should go through more Pixar movies because there's a
Oh, we are.
shit ton to talk about. Literally every single one.
We are going through them.
That's
That's
true.
the franchise. Um, Chan, you
2015
want to
doesn't feel
say?
all that long ago, but it's so like I was
That's when
Almost
this
10 years.
came out.
yeah, I was 13 whenever I saw this,
Oh
and
wow.
that's just crazy. The concept of that.
Chan, you want to say one more thing you like, and then one more thing you
Yes.
didn't like? I'll go one more thing I like, one more thing I didn't like. Zach goes his
Okay.
fun facts, and we try and see what he thinks.
Yeah, that works with me.
This is great too because this is not a movie I've talked about a lot, so you guys probably have never heard me like verbalize my opinions on the movie, just from being friends.
Wait, Sky, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
So I really liked the end, and it was kind of like glorified by like TikTok, but whenever like Riley's imaginary friends like yeah, you did it. Go ahead, save Riley. And that like I really liked that part. It was so sad.
I just want to say fuck
And
TikTok, man. The internet sucks.
yeah, but either way,
This
I didn't know
movie's
that's
good
what
on
this
its
was
own.
about.
Ignore like outside
I just
sources.
I did ignore it.
Thank
I just
God.
recognized it from TikTok before, but I saw it and I was like, "Oh, that's so sad." But it
Yeah.
was so good because it makes so much sense for an imaginary character, and like it was time for like Bing Bong to finally fade away and kind of get removed, and then but he got to like essentially take Riley to the moon with
He
her
saved Riley.
emotions, kind of save her, yeah, and then get back. And then I really like Joy kind of like making like the 1,000 or like the 9,999
I
boyfriends.
would die for Riley.
Yeah, it's like time to
That one
prove
is
it. And then
great.
she brings them all, builds a gigantic tower, launches, and they get back. And then Disgust uses anger to open up the window by making him really mad.
A lot of my
And then
notes are very unsensical.
and
Sorry.
then one thing I wasn't a huge fan of was I feel like Disgust should have had more of a role. Just being like, I don't know. I feel like Disgust
Well,
would have like
okay,
made
I
like a
think that's
big
a
role in a
Skylar
new.
reason because everyone
No,
has their
it
different
didn't.
focused
Yeah, but at the same
emotions, and
time, it's like
Skylar's is
a new
definitely more
place, new
disgust.
school, like new place, new school, new people, and like it's pretty much like I
Well,
get
maybe
fear would be
Riley's
there
not
if
as judgy.
anger was running it, but like again, it is Riley. But
Yeah,
to me, I would have thought it would have been disgust
that's
and
fair.
fear running it, and not anger. But
That
um,
makes so much sense.
okay. Just saying. I just think that should have been the
I
thing,
know.
but
I'm
I
just
mean,
messing with you.
I didn't hate the way it was done. I just
I,
think it would have been better.
hey, I wasn't defending it. I was just saying
There
that
you are.
different
You
emotions.
just gave away your
No, I
yeah,
was psychoanalyzing
you just
you and seeing how
yeah, and
you what your
psychoanalyzed me,
emotions.
made me counter
The quote
psychoanalyze
at the
you, so I
beginning that's
feel
like, what,
I feel good now.
don't you ever wonder what it's like going on inside of someone's head? I was just looking inside of yours right there.
No, you didn't. I actually rolled a D20, so you failed.
Not true.
That's like
Not
that's a
true.
spoiler for what we watching, I
I
guess.
I, I,
But
I
Stan, what was one thing you liked about
my
this?
charisma was at
Right.
I got a D20 on charisma check, so freaking I sang you to death.
Impossible. I rolled again.
Okay, Chen, just go.
I have two things I liked. One thing I didn't like as well. I didn't like the song, the Bing Bong song
Yeah.
for like the rocket. Didn't like it. Thought it was, yeah,
Chen is the
I don't
number
know.
one resident hater of Bing Bong and his
No, I thought he
music.
was cool. I liked how he was created out of cotton candy. I
Yeah.
liked how like the different parts of animals that made him and whatnot, but did not like his song. I loved the random memories getting transported up to HQ. That was
Dude,
hilarious.
the gum,
Oh, yeah. The gum.
the gum,
Yeah,
triple
yeah.
dent
It's
gum.
like, sometimes you just get those random thoughts,
Yeah.
that just come out of nowhere. It's like, huh, forgot
Yeah.
about that, you know? It's like it's just so real. It's so real.
Yeah.
It is.
That's definitely true.
That is very relatable
Or
part.
like some stupid, like I don't even remember. Do you guys know the movie The Labyrinth?
No.
No.
Okay,
Do you remember
there's
Kick Buttowski?
I do remember Kick Buttowski. I always think about Roll Like the Hot Dogs from a very obscure episode in that show. But uh, there's a old puppet movie from I think the '80s called The Labyrinth with David Bowie, and I've seen some like ads for it on Instagram, and ever since I've seen like a handful of them, I just have that song. There's a song from the movie that just it's stuck in my head. It's probably on TikTok or something. You said it was on TikTok. It was like you remind me of the babe. What babe? The babe with the power of voodoo, power of. Okay, it doesn't matter. But there's a chance you might have seen that on TikTok, but it's been stuck in my head for a while. It doesn't matter. But that's exactly what the triple dent gum is. All right, whatever. Chan, go ahead. Keep going. Next.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't relate.
So someone out there is gonna relate to that.
I was really hoping
Lastly,
Chandler did the silence with me. I was
yeah,
really hoping.
I was gonna say like I'm not one with the TikTok brain rot or
Neither am I.
trying
I
to.
don't even go on TikTok. I don't. I go on Instagram occasionally. But I try to avoid the internet. I go on Instagram so I can get movie news.
Right. I'm on Instagram and YouTube Shorts way too often. But regardless,
I can't go on
to
YouTube
close.
Shorts because I see those. I saw back whenever I was on TikTok more. I saw people making fun of YouTube Shorts users, and every time I think about clicking the YouTube Shorts button, I think of that, and I'm like, I can't do
Dude,
that.
YouTube Shorts gets me, bro. Like it just gets me. I swear.
That's rough.
Um. Lastly, I liked whenever the boxes of facts and opinions got mixed. I thought that was really good.
Yes, I wrote that
That was
down.
really good.
I don't remember where I wrote. Oh,
Yeah.
I just wrote down
'Cause
facts
that's
and
like
opinions mix.
so often do we confuse facts and opinions with
Oh
one
yeah,
another. So
oh yeah, especially on the
Yeah.
Mediak podcast here.
no,
Yeah.
only facts. We
No,
only
no,
speak
me.
facts.
That's true.
That's a
From
whole
our
lot of
point of view, we
opinion.
only speak facts. That is very
All right,
true.
Zach, you
Okay,
wanna lead us off with some,
some
fun
fun
facts?
facts.
Yeah,
Even
make
though
it
this
super fun.
isn't a Zach chosen franchise, you got the Mediac brand coming in with the fun facts. That's what I do. It's what I'm here for. So,
What he stands for.
did you know in the creation of this movie they presented 27 emotions initially?
Okay.
Eventually they brought
No,
it down to 5, but they started at 27.
27 would've been
That's
a
a
lot to
lot.
handle.
27 would have been I it was hard for me to translate if they just like threw 27 things at a wall and saw what stick, or they were like, okay, these are our main characters. And I really hope it was the first one, because if it was the second one, that would have been really not the best of movies. And I'm happy they decided to not go with that.
Yeah.
The next one up is that oh crap, I'm blanking. I didn't write his name down because I thought, oh, I know his name so well, I'm not gonna forget it, but I forgot it.
Like,
Uh, it's
your favorite.
the director of this movie and the current owner of Pixar. He originally made the movie focusing on joy and fear because he was more of a Skylar kind of person, and he said that fear dictated most of the things in his life, especially as an adult, because it was like fear of like losing a job or fear of getting turned down on something or something along those lines. And to him, he felt like fear was more of like a big deal. But whenever he like went and started to create the movie, it was like as a child, sadness would be something that would be more difficult for someone to like come to terms with or accept as something that they need. So that's what they went with instead of fear. Fear is more played as a joke. They brought in psychologists to talk to the different animators and writers to try and get them to understand their emotions better so that they could create the different things and the different aspects within the movie to a more accurate degree, which I think that is
I
so
feel like I've heard
nifty. You've heard that?
I feel
Well,
like I have.
in the
Like, I
second
feel like I
movie,
know
they
you
brought like they had a council of teenage
maybe
girls that they brought in
that
and showed the Inside Out 2 to get judgment. Like they did that like every 2 months or something to get feedback to try and make it as accurate to their like life as possible. I don't know
I
if
didn't know that part.
yeah,
Hmm.
but I think that was really well done because
That's cool.
I one thing I wrote down that I really enjoyed because I'm an animation person, so something I look for whenever I do any sort of animated movie is how well different movements are. And something I was just blown away with was the facial expressions of each emotion because it wasn't just like that they acted like the emotions; they constantly were just showing facial movements of the different emotions, and it wasn't just the same one. It was like different variety of different like disgust. It was really well done in a way that didn't feel like it was overwhelming and pushy. It was really nice, really good stuff on that.
I
um
agree.
so one thing I wrote down that's not a super fun fact about the movie, it just while I was going through it, I was like, I relate to that, so I need to write it down because that's what this movie is about. It's about relating to it. So
It
apparently the director really hates trailers, and he thinks that if the the stuff you put in trailers ruins the movie because there's no reason to go see a movie if you put the cool things in the trailer. Because someone
fair.
asked him why he'd never put Bing Bong in any of the Inside Out trailers before the movie released, and that's one of the reasons. He was like, well, those people that really were going to relate to an imaginary character, they probably would see him in a trailer and be like, oh, okay, I don't need to see the movie anymore. I know where it's going, or something like that. I thought that was interesting. I said the
That
fun fact about the Pixar bad guy. And then honestly, I wrote this one down. There's probably more fun facts out there that are more interesting. I wrote this one down because I don't like it. In Europe, they changed. Actually, not just Europe. There are two versions of this movie. One where when the dad was doing his daydream, he was thinking about hockey, and I'm guessing all three of us watched that one. And there was another one where when he had his daydream, he was thinking about soccer. And I really I understand the change because not everyone hockey is not a very popular sport, but that doesn't make any sense for that character in the slightest. Like, because he's from Minnesota and his whole family is hockey based. So just because you're trying to get it to be more relatable to a certain group of people, I just that doesn't add up. It's like if you made two versions of Silver Linings Playbook, but one of them was completely normal where they talked about football, and the other one was where they did weird ADR and changed it to talk about soccer instead. It just doesn't represent what it used to anymore.
Did you watch this on Disney Plus?
Yep,
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say I can't remember if it was hockey or soccer, but I
it
watched it
definitely
on
was
Disney
hockey.
Plus. Okay.
It because like I don't know who on their team was like we should switch it up because that just doesn't make sense. Like
Mhm.
it, I don't know. Maybe it's a nitpick, and I'm literally talking about something that probably only 30% of the people who have watched this movie like have even seen.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, exactly. Well, notice, yeah, it's probably even less. Why did I bring this up? The more you help me with that argument, I'm just like, man, only probably like 1,000 people even know what I'm talking about right here. And my
I
final
mean, it's
fun
a
fact,
fair point to dislike. It doesn't make sense.
it really doesn't.
Like, if it was like, I don't know, assuming he was born in the United States, I could see like football.
His whole family's
You
into
know what I mean?
hockey.
Like, yeah, his whole
Like
family's
half
into
the
hockey,
movie's
but he's
about
in
hockey.
Minnesota. He might have liked
Minnesota.
football. I mean, they have a football team, so
That's
he might have been
true.
daydreaming about football.
But he wasn't.
But
He was daydreaming about soccer
yeah, I
in
mean,
certain
which is
parts of the
fair if
country.
like they based him in Europe,
But they
but I don't
didn't.
think they do.
They did not.
Yeah, because I
Hmm.
don't think there's a
Nah,
Minneapolis in
dude. Look at that guy's
Europe.
face. He is not a European.
Yeah. I feel bad for anyone that watched the soccer version because in my opinion it doesn't feel like the real movie. Like
I agree with that.
they didn't watch Inside Out.
Yeah, because like it's just it's a mischaracterization to the max.
Well, I do think maybe it's still the same movie in my mind. It just has
Yeah.
like one like more bad detail in it.
I hate the dad character because he was thinking about soccer.
No, everyone in the
Damn
movie,
it!
1 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my
Yeah, I
final fun
rewatched
fact.
it.
Oops, sorry, good.
It was definitely a deal, but I don't think it was that big of a deal.
It wasn't.
Like,
No.
maybe the dad really likes soccer.
Maybe he does.
He's even
Hey,
a lot.
nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that. G's dad really likes soccer.
I really like soccer.
Yeah. It just would be weird if he played hockey 24/7 and then was thinking about soccer, you know?
Chandler plays volleyball 24/7. He just joined a soccer
And he's
league,
always
so it's
thinking
not
about Skylar's. So my final fun fact about the movie is that we are
wanna finish
literally.
Where are you going with that statement?
So my final fun fact about the movie isn't something I got off the internet. It's just something that I feel very confidently about. It's one of those opinions and the facts that are kind of mixing around a little
Okay.
bit.
Zach's bag is also mixed.
We are never going to get a movie quite like this again. And I don't mean like within the franchise, because obviously we got Inside Out 2. We are never going to get a conceptually weird idea solely made for the purpose of helping kids understand their emotions. That is spawning from no possible franchise or brand. This was just Pixar taking an insane risk and it profiting for them. Go ahead.
Have you ever heard of Scooby-Doo?
I
Checkmate, pal.
No, that's not. I said never again. You were gonna get another Scooby Doo, Skylar.
No. Sadly, we are.
Yes, we
Definitely.
are. That's exactly what I
Definitely
mean.
have
Because
been-
in the
But-
future, from now on, the only thing we're ever gonna get is spin-offs or continuations of franchises. We're not gonna get even if those do go through the concept of
I see what you're saying now.
yeah, exactly. So even
got
if
it now.
even if those spin-offs or continuations do deal with the idea of dealing with your emotions and helping people like understand that concept, it's not going to be a fresh idea. They're going to have to they connect some way to a universe because Disney just doesn't believe that anything else can be profitable. They just I literally can't even think of of an original idea they've had in the last like 3 years. Anything?
Here.
In
I don't know.
exactly.
I mean, I'm not that familiar with Disney, so I feel like I'm
That's
the wrong
fair.
person to ask.
Well, mainly
Not
it's
fan
just
of
like in the higher like Universal, Warner Brothers, that kind of whole shindig. The only people you see going out and doing something different and weird are the ones that have an insane amount of money and can do it themselves, like Christopher Nolan.
I agree.
It's just it's a sad state that the movie industry is in, and it's really crazy that it's under 10 years from now when they're able to do these insane, really, really brave risks like Inside Out. Okay.
Can I ask a question based off the one fun fact you said regarding the number of emotions?
Yeah.
Of the 5 we had, which one would you want to see leave for one of the other 28?
Probably Disgust because I think, like at least for me, I think Disgust and Fear have like a little bit of a unison. They have a crossover a bit. So I think like I know in the next movie we get Anxiety. I think Anxiety would have been a good like fill in for that. Or maybe Fear gone and Anxiety in because Fear and Anxiety are pretty similar. I'd say one of those two gone. Fear or Disgust.
Okay.
Sky,
what do you say?
I would probably add in like I would need to know what the other like 20 they came up with were.
Well,
like,
his
Right,
question
well,
was,
I'm
who would
saying-
you remove?
Yeah.
Oh, I
I
thought it
don't
was
know
else
who it really
they
is.
still
Just
did.
I was just saying
that's
someone I would
cool.
add because my brain was thinking like, if I'm gonna remove someone, I'm gonna have to replace them in some way. So that's just how I was like kind of justifying my statement.
Probably Disgust.
Okay, cool. We're on the same page.
Not for like the same reason, but like as like it's really close to Fear. But I feel like it's not close. Did you say Fear or Anger?
I said Fear.
Okay, because I think like Disgust like is also like super close to like Sadness too, depending on what you're disgusted with.
Yeah,
So I feel like Disgust is like a mix of like a lot of them.
yeah,
So if you just add in like a complete like anxiety,
yeah,
like
yeah.
the anxiety kind of touches in all of them, but it's not super reliant on all of them, if that makes sense.
I'm really excited to see how they deal with anxiety in the next movie. I'm interested about that. I've seen only a single trailer, and I know there's like a creature that's like large and it hides in a hoodie. I don't know what that one is. And I've seen the design for anxiety, and I've seen the design for nostalgia. And honestly, the design for nostalgia made me want to go watch the movie, and that's like kind of the only thing that made me want to go see it so far. It just looks so funny, and I'm not like going. I want to defend that statement a little bit. I'm not thinking it's going to be a bad movie. I just am like, it made $1 billion already, and it's a Disney product, so I don't feel any need to go support it at the moment. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I,
Can I
I
say what character I'd
Oh
say
yeah, of
was
course. I'm
was better?
sorry. I was gonna jump into the next thing.
So you said there's 28, and that's why I thought of this question, because of the 5 emotions we got, I also thought disgust is the one to go. I just don't see it making the 5 emotions.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what other 20 there were, but for disgust to make it into the 5, I just
Yeah, like the
don't think it's
core
one of the
5
strongest
felt
emotions,
right.
and that's why I think it gets the boot.
I think they were
I
coming from the idea of a baby girl. Like, what is something that she would be feeling? And I don't know, actually. That's such a good
I would
point
love to
because,
see curiosity. What if that was like an emotion?
Yeah.
That would be
dude,
cool.
why
That's a
didn't they
really
do
good one,
that? Every
actually.
baby has
Yeah,
curiosity. And one thing I wrote down, actually, before I go into the things I
I like
wrote down,
wonder.
y- I want you guys to. It's been really difficult for me not to say the things I want to say. So just I I know I've been it's not as good as Skylar with hiding how I feel. So instead of just saying a whether or not I've liked or disliked the movie, I need a number from both of you.
Yeah, I was gonna do within 1.
With what? Oh, within one.
Like,
Okay. Yeah.
I would like you to oh, wait, yeah, we have to guess first,
You just
then
have the
your opinion.
guess. Go ahead.
Um, I'm gonna go with a 7. I don't see how you really dislike this movie. I feel like this is gonna be one of the ones that you do like, and you're kind of worried about, like, the next one not being as good and kind of ruining the franchise, kinda like, Spider-Verse in a way.
Okay.
Really liked the first one, worried about the second one. Now and you had good reason to be worried about the second one, and now you're really worried about the third.
Hmm. Chen?
Am I guessing your number?
Yeah, guess my
Yeah.
number.
9.
Okay, both numbers are in. I'm not going to say what number it is. I'm going to actually leave that to the end. But I'm going to go back to the thing that Chandler said because it'll be easier for me to talk about it now. What emotion did you say? Oh, wander. Wander would be like,
You said curiosity, I
oh,
said wonder.
curiosity. Well, they're the same thing, kind of.
They
That
are.
would be way better than disgust in every possible way. Because one thing I wrote down was Riley is unbelievably creative, and the way that they show that in all of her emotions, doing different things and coming up with different concepts, and her herself, and all of the different memories we saw from her. A wander emotion would have been so. I mean, you guys get it now. But that
Or
would have
even
been
like a sport emotion,
sport.
like a determinate like a sporty emotion because she's super
That's what
into
anger
hockey.
is.
Like
I
maybe
think.
like
I
a
think.
well, I was thinking like a do you like a desire?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I
desire
get that.
emotion?
Yeah.
Like a want to win, want to be the best, want to be on a
Yeah.
team? Yeah.
Well, she is also like 11, so I would
Yeah, but
understand if that
hockey's a huge
wouldn't.
part of her. She
I
got
know
really
that.
mad.
Yeah, I know that. And one thing I liked at the end of the movie was whenever they showed the mixing of emotions. First off, fantastic idea. I really liked how that's where that ended up because it just was. Let me tell this story, okay? When I first saw this movie in theaters, I cried 3 times and I didn't really understand why for any of the moments. And uh, I think it was some point halfway through the movie, the end of the movie, and then on the car ride home whenever I was thinking about the movie. And keep in mind I was 13. I genuinely didn't know how to process any of that. And I remember one of the reasons why I started crying on the ride home was cuz like something clicked in my brain and I was thinking to myself, "Oh, this is just how I'm going to be able to process and build the two different merging of the emotions for things." Or like this is how I'm going to be like I guess like materializing that in my own process kind of way. I don't know if that makes sense or anything like that, but I've always been someone to learn very deeply from media more than literally anything else. Like rather than being hands on or being taught something. Whenever I'm watching something and I'm able to pull apart the story myself, that's really how I learn. In this movie, like it spoke to me more than any single movie I'd ever seen at the age whenever I was 13. And for that, I think this is either a 9 or a 10. This is genuinely one of the greatest movies I've ever seen in my life.
What'd you say?
It's either a 9 or a 10.
Yeah.
I cried twice this time watching it just because I don't think there is a single movie out there that can make everything and experiences in life feel so relatable. And I think that as we age, this movie is only going to get better and better because of the way that we're able to connect with the different like emotional changes that Riley goes through. And as we build a deeper nostalgia for our childhood, it's going to make this movie appear even sadder to us because we feel even a deeper sadder towards the happy core memories we had as a kid becoming more sad. And it's not even in a upsetting sad way like the movie is trying to showcase. Like at the end of the movie, all the core memories are yellow and blue because even though they were happy back then, we still look back at them and we were like, I miss that so much. And the point in which I really teared up for the first time in this one was whenever Joy was in the forgotten memory section and she was looking at the tree. And that was like my bing bong because I specifically remember a time in my life. It wasn't hockey and it wasn't like the exact same situation, but it was close enough that I was able to like connect it. The scene where Riley was like sitting on the tree and it was after like a big loss at her game and her parents came over and like consulted her and then the rest of her friends came over. I'm actually even getting teared up kind of right now thinking about it because of how important my memory was to me of that moment and how important that memory was to Riley and Joy's realization that it's okay that it's becoming sad, but that just kind of showcases how great of a memory it was. Amazing. There's not ever another movie on this planet that can showcase that as well as this.
I would agree. And I think everybody had their own kind of like
Yeah,
tree moment where something
exactly.
didn't go that way, but had like people around you.
Exactly. And there's so much relatability in this movie that even like I'm not an 11-year-old girl. Clearly. But we were able to find something to connect to and really like it's a movie unlike anything else. It's funny and the story is very fluid. There aren't very many like glaring plot holes. And it's literally as simple as a kid moved away. But it's not that simple because there's so many conceptual things about it that kids are going to watch and not really understand or know what the process. But over time, they're going to be learning how to do that because this movie kickstarted their idea of what are these emotions and how do I deal with them. I hate
That was very
California.
well worded. Yeah. Everybody will be California.
Yeah, fuck California. I don't know what else. What else did I write down? I said this. I'm gonna save that for last. Actually, that's gonna be my closing statement. Riley
Okay.
said
Would you like to
creative.
hear our numbers?
Yeah, you want our numbers?
Yes. So before we start, I have
Do
two
you
more
want to
things
try
before that. So Qbert was on their shirt. She plays for the Qbert team in California. I just wanted to add that because I said before the podcast that I would be mentioning Qbert on the podcast. And then I also wrote that this is American Evangelion because it is an animated thing about dealing with depression and the emotions are piloting Riley like how the pilots pilot Max and Evangelion. so
That's awesome.
Inside Out is American Evangelion.
Yeah, you nailed it. That's it.
Thank
Make
you.
that the title.
Yeah.
American Evangelion.
Disney, feel free to send me my check in the mail. All right.
Okay.
Chandler
Yeah, do you
can
want to
go
give your
first.
number first?
Yeah, okay. Sorry, Scott.
Um,
I like your idea. I even have
I
the same
give it a
one.
7.5.
Okay, that's bad. I gave it an
That was-
8 now.
Because that's bad. That's still a good score.
Yeah.
Like I still think Chandler is a good score, and he's valid to have those
Yeah.
opinions. I just feel strongly the way that I feel about it because I have so many different aspects of Riley's life that I connected to, and because I had that moment as a kid. Because like I genuinely don't think I'm trying to think. I've cried a lot during movies in my adult life because I've like understood how to like connect with emotions on the screen a little bit better than as a kid. But I genuinely don't think I've ever cried in a movie until I was like 17 or 18 other than Inside Out. And that itself has created its core memory for me. You know? I I can vividly picture me like resting my head against the window of my car in the back seat while tears were rolling down my face and thinking to myself, why am I crying? I don't understand this. And it, in I know that sounds stupid, but for that reason, like this movie is genuinely just one of my like probably not one of my favorite movies, but one of the most impactful movies in my life.
So I would like to start off by saying it did not matter what number Chandler said. I was going to say he was wrong and say my number after. It just so happened to be lower than me. And I had that idea from whenever I said, Chandler, you can go first.
Oh no.
So I was waiting.
I was set up.
You were set up. I am so happy Zach went with it too. Even better.
Yeah.
So,
That's great.
Chan, what made you give it a 7.5?
At first it was a 7, but just everything Zach was saying made me rate it a little higher. But
You
it's
don't have
that
to.
low. No. I just didn't think of the movie like that. But
Okay.
you explaining a lot of this actually made me appreciate it a little more. It's just not my kind of movie, my
That's super
genre of
fair.
movie
Yeah.
that I watch, and that's why like I don't think I'll be seeing it as soon as I would a 9 or 10 movie.
That's super. It's like how I don't think you watched it, Chan, but you know of it. Tar. That is like objectively a
Right.
good movie, but me and Skylar rated it kind of low because it's not something that we want to watch
Well,
again.
yeah, I believe I was gonna rate it like a 3 or a 4, but I let it sit for a couple days and I was
Yeah.
like, you know what, maybe this is like a
Hey,
6.
it's a pretty good movie. Like all in
Yeah, it was
all,
pretty
there are
solid.
some points
Yeah.
whenever I think back about that, and I'm like, actually, over the last year, I've thought to myself probably 5 or 6 times, man, I should go watch that again. And then whenever I think about it more, I'm like, man, that movie's fucking boring. I don't want to put that on right now. but
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like that's kind of like the same thing, Chan, if that makes sense. You know, like
So,
it's
yeah,
someone's favorite movie.
I think we actually had the same rating because except like our only difference is this is more of my style of movie.
Okay.
So for mine's an 8.5. So I feel like if this was your type of movie and or this wasn't my type of movie, we would have had the same rating.
Right. Right.
So I think we had a lot of the same points. I'm just a huge fan of like internal conflict and coming to terms with things. That's usually what I like. And I like not necessarily just like only the story of things, but I really value a story and then like development a long time. That's just something I always enjoy seeing.
Yeah,
And I got to see like a good story, and there was like two of them going on because the emotions were having a problem, and then Riley was having a problem because of the emotions, and you got to see joy develop as an emotion and
Mhm.
sadness develop as an emotion, and so it was like kind of neat to see. And there were still some things I didn't like, but that's gonna happen in every movie. So I feel like an
Right.
8.5 was a good score for me.
so what period of Disney
Right.
have you seen? Like, have you like name Disney movies you've watched?
Inside
Inside
Out.
Out.
There's no way
Um,
that this is the only one.
it's not the only one.
You watch Lion King?
Frozen 2.
Ooh,
Okay.
dude, why?
Those were Lily or
Frozen's good.
Frozen.
I like
Don't
Frozen.
second.
I went with Lily, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
You watch Lion King, the first one?
yeah, in school.
Wait,
Um,
was it the 2D animated or the 3D animated one?
Ew.
Okay, thank God.
What about Hercules?
Mm-mm,
Mulan?
mm-mm.
We should be going through some of the Disney Renaissance movies then, because those are fucking crazy good. I would be
Uh,
down to watch those again just to show
Mm.
Skylar them and see what his opinions are.
I picked Pixar
You did pick Pixar, so whoever.
and Disney, technically.
Cars.
Wait, does Chandler
did.
get a medal because he guessed within one of my
Yeah.
prediction? Okay, so Chandler got a medal.
You didn't say what it was.
Oh hell yeah.
What?
You didn't say what your rating was.
Yeah,
You
I
said
did.
it's either a 0, 9, or a 10.
Oh, 9.5.
Good work, Chandler.
Appreciate it, boys.
So maybe Chan
Yeah.
will get to pick the next series of movies. If I got to pick it, I probably would choose like 3 or 4 Disney Renaissance movies just to see what
What
Skylar's
do you mean by
opinions.
Renaissance?
There's
I'm not
like
sure if I understand.
they've like split up the Disney movies into different time periods. Right now we're in like postmodern or something, but Renaissance is from like the 90s to the early 2000s. So it's like Beauty and the Beast.
Ooh, I love that one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Didn't watch
Mulan,
it.
Hercules, the Lion King.
Is Aladdin in that?
Aladdin is in that. I would pick
I didn't
Aladdin.
watch that
I
either.
love Aladdin, dude. Aladdin's so good. What'd you say, Sky?
I didn't watch that either.
That's so fair. Yeah, but it's mainly the Renaissance era is like the movies that people usually consider really good.
And they want a remake.
Yeah, there
The
are bad
fanboys
ones inside of that bunch, but I'm only thinking of the good ones right now. So
The Cinderella as well, and the
yeah,
Disney princesses.
No, I think Cinderella might be
Might be a
pre-Renaissance.
little earlier.
I think Cinderella is a little earlier than that.
Okay.
Did you ever watch Bambi?
No.
I loved Bambi as a kid. I'm not sure if it's a good movie, but I loved it as a
I haven't
kid.
watched it recently. I don't think I've ever seen Bambi fully through. Actually,
Yeah,
Me neither.
I've probably seen it countless
Two of us.
times. Just
yeah,
one of those movies to watch all the time on a car trip.
yeah, that was Kung Fu Panda for me.
Mine was Scooby
Oh
Doo.
yes, Kung Fu Panda 2.
Both of them, yeah. All right, do you guys wanna skip into the next? Oh, the thing I was gonna say with my number was, I don't think this is the best Pixar movie. I think that goes to Incredibles and Ratatouille, but I do think that this is the most
I
important.
have watched Ratatouille.
You haven't watched
have?
Ratatouille?
I have.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's a good one.
I was gonna rip your head off, dude. Like that movie. That movie's up there with the. I think of that movie constantly, like literally
Yeah, me as well.
constantly.
I was just cooking.
I mean, it's not even like from the aspect of, oh, it's a rat and he's piloting. There's just so many good lessons in that movie that I am
piloting me as I cook.
totally.
He's like,
that's the best
yeah,
lesson of all.
Rat. He's like, yo,
That's
you want to
that's
throw this on?
that's my favorite movie lesson actually. If you're not good at something, have a rat do it.
Yeah, exactly. They're good.
Yeah. All right, whatever. I could talk about Ratatouille if we ever do that on another episode, but we can get into movie news. And I have a shit ton, so I'm just gonna go through it if that's okay with you guys.
Rapid fire.
Because it's been like 4 weeks, so this stuff is stacked up. First off,
Your number has progressively gotten bigger every time you've mentioned how long it's been. You started
Really?
at 2, 1, 2, 3, now you're at 4.
That's funny. I didn't know that. Billie Eilish, the author of Attack on Titan.
The girl from Fortnite?
The girl from Fortnite! It is the girl from Fortnite. Dude, damn it. I kind of want to play Fortnite, but I just deleted it. The author of Attack on Titan drew a portrait of Billie Eilish for Billie Eilish's birthday and gave it to her, which is pretty
That's
neat.
awesome.
We got a release date for the movie
What's that
Nobody.
movie news?
What was
I
it?
don't know either, but I
No,
like
it's
What is that movie
okay.
news?
This is media news. This is media news. It's not just
it.
movies.
Say.
I also really like Billie Eilish, so
Waiting
just
for
let me
you.
have this, okay?
I was waiting for the kick, and it was like, gave her a picture.
Yeah, he just gave her a picture of herself. It's media because she makes music and he makes manga / anime. So that's how it connects. We got a release date for Nobody 2. I don't think Skylar would know what Nobody is, but Chandler does. That comes out August 15th, 2025. G wants me to watch that movie really badly.
Did you watch the first one, right?
I haven't, no, actually. I know.
So good.
I know.
It's so good.
I really like Bob Odenkirk too, so I should definitely check that out.
We should make that. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt.
No,
we
you're
should
good.
Wait and watch that before it comes out in theaters.
We can do it on the podcast. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that'd be cool. So Eddie Murphy was questioned about Shrek 5, and since this questioning, we have got an official announcement. So I guess that's movie news. Official announcement of Shrek 5. But they asked him about it, and he was like, "Yeah, they're obviously working on it, but they're also working on a donkey spin-off movie, apparently." I'm personally not excited for that. I think that literally could only be nothing but bad. But
Yeah,
but
I think so too.
we're like,
who knows?
I don't know. That goes to the thing I was saying earlier that you only get sequels and spin-offs, but it doesn't really.
Right.
All right, so for season 2 of Fallout, they confirmed that Mr. House will be in it. So in addition to seeing New Vegas at the end of the season, we're going to be actually getting Mr. House, which is pretty neat for people who like Fallout. I like the world of Fallout. I think the games are not as fun as everyone says they are. I think they only have 3 good ones. But they also have like a shit.
2D game you can play on your phone is
Well, technically, I am thinking 2 of the 2D games I think are good. Fallout 1 and Fallout 2. I've never played Fallout Shelter, so I can't add to that. But technically,
kind of fun. It's kind of fun.
That's fair. But technically, you're right because I think you could play Fallout 1 on your phone now. So it is a 2D game on your phone. So that is right. So okay, I'm rereading this news now, and they spelled the actor's name wrong. They wrote Lane instead of Lance. But Lance Reddick's final TV role will be in voicing Lex Luthor in the Kite Man Hell Yeah TV show, which we also got a. Oh, I deleted that because I didn't think it would be interesting. We also got a release date for that from James Gunn himself. Lance Reddick is a really famous actor. He recently passed away, and that's why this is a big deal that he's going to be in this. But it's kind of like how Chadwick Boseman had like a shit ton of stuff just in the pipeline, and after he died, like it kept coming out. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of what this is going to be, and this will be our final showing of Lance Reddick. You guys probably don't recognize the name, but if I showed you him, you would definitely realize it. I don't know if you're. I'm gonna try and show you him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was like Poseidon and Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
No, he was Zeus. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I knew who you're talking about.
I don't
Yeah.
remember. I just remember from John Wick.
Oh yeah, he
I
was in John
remember
Wick. Yeah,
Percy Jackson, actually.
yeah. That was I was trying to think of the most recent thing to try and connect that. So we got some confirmation for not confirmation.
Oh,
we
I'm
got.
sorry. He's also in Destiny. If you've ever played.
He is in Destiny, but I didn't think that you guys would get that. I didn't know you played Destiny. I know Skylar did, but I'm pretty sure he never met that character, so I wasn't gonna say anything. But I don't know why I screenshotted that, but James Gunn posted a thing about Rick Flag Sr.'s character in Creature Commandos because that's coming out soon. I must have just gotten really excited because I'm very excited for that animated show because I love James Gunn, I love animation, and I actually really like Frank Grillo, so I'm excited to see. Oh, and David Harbour's Frankenstein, dude, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so freaking good. I'm so excited for that. We got some more news on the Vision Quest TV show, as in. Apparently, he's going to have a family in it, like a Vision wife and 2 Vision children, which are different from the Vision wife and the Vision children he had in WandaVision. But I don't know why they didn't cancel that show along with the other billion other things they canceled at Disney recently. But
so it's not like White Vision?
Who fucking cares at this point, bro? So the Rogue One director the Rogue One director confirmed that Ben Mendelsohn is going to be coming for. The second I said that, I knew I couldn't finish the sentence because I knew how Skylar was going to. Ben Mendelsohn is going to be in Andor season 2 as the character you played in Rogue One.
He's gonna be in who?
Skylar, shut up. I knew I couldn't finish that because the name of the show is a man, so I couldn't say Ben Mendelsohn is coming in Andor.
Wait, who's this character?
This guy,
Anderson?
Ben Mendelsohn. Oh crap, he was in Rogue One at the beginning, if you remember.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be in Andor season 2.
Ooh.
So we're getting some higher quality actors up in here. Not higher quality, but like. Oh, actually, now that I think about it, they had some fucking all-stars in Andor season 1.
Andor is awesome.
Yeah, they weren't like cheap on that thing because they had that Skarsgård guy in there, and I know he's pretty expensive. Damn. So we got an announcement from James Gunn of the Lanterns TV. I think it's called Lantern Corps on HBO. And the funny thing about this was that this show, I think this is the 4th time it was officially announced since 2012.
Wow.
So,
damn.
Yeah, but that's not
10 years, right?
Yeah, exactly, honestly. Let's just wait. Yeah, but I think that this one's actually coming through now because like he has an idea for the universe instead of them just saying, "We're going to make this, I promise." Like it's crazy that The Flash took 8 years to make. But they finally have someone in there that's going to be like fully.
What about Black Adam though?
Yeah, we don't have to talk about Black Adam. We don't have to talk about Black Adam. We don't have to go there right now. It's okay. That's for another time or a past time if we already did a podcast on it. Right. Where is I going with this? I don't have as much worry for this as I do for other things that have been confirmed like 20 times because I know for a fact that this is not the same story as it was back whenever it was first created, because they canceled it so many times. They brought in completely different people. It's a completely different crew that's working on this. Like James Gunn is not going to be like, I don't even know. I guess I'm putting too much faith in him. I don't know. I hope it's good. I really just don't want bad comic book stuff anymore because I'm just tired of it, you know?
Yeah.
Because they just been slapping us in the face with 6 and lowers constantly for the last like 4 years. It's not worth it. We got some cast confirmation from Netflix's One Piece season 2. Dan Dashamalian is Mr. 3, and I think that might be the most interesting of the new casts. I could be wrong. They casted a Smoker, a Tashigi, a Wapul, and Dalton, and a handful of other characters. But I really like David Dashamalian. He was Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad. He is going to be playing the character with the big 3 on his head, and that creates wax.
Oh, that's perfect. That's
Yeah.
actually perfect.
I know. I'm really happy about it. It's a great casting. I don't know the other actors, and I guarantee if I showed you them, you'd be like, "Oh, those are good casts too." Like specifically the guy they got for Wapul, they nailed it, and it's great. And
Well, who is the best?
the funny thing is that is important because for some reason, if there is a joke character in One Piece, they're going to be one of the most important characters in the show by the end of it. I'm just saying. Wapul,
I'll see about that.
you One Piece
Who's
guys
that
out there?
character again?
He's the guy who eats everything. On Drum Island with the reindeer, Chopper.
Right.
He had the Baku Baku no Mi
yes. I see
that he
what
just
you
went,
mean.
you know?
Yeah, his like stomach opened up or whatever.
Kinda,
Is
yeah. He
that
turned
it?
himself into a big house. He had a big
Okay, yeah, I
metal
understand.
jaw.
Okay, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah, but he's shockingly important in the final arc of One Piece. So, I'm happy.
Interesting.
I'm happy that they casted him well. So, the Miyazaki was questioned on whether or not he would like to create an Elden Ring movie, and he said, "I would like to, but I would need to have a very strong partner," which makes sense. And I guess he must have found that to some degree because they were making a 5-minute Elden Ring anime short, which I think looks really cool so far. Have you guys seen anything from it?
Guy posted something in the Instagram, right?
Well, you might have.
I think Sky posted like something like they're going to make an anime. I didn't know it was just 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's
though.
just 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just a
They're
5
not
minute
doing
short.
anything more than that.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
It looks really
okay,
cool
then,
though.
Do you have access to it?
Me? No.
Yeah. Okay, is it out yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've seen some screenshots of it though, and it looks really well
Right,
drawn.
same. It does. I wish
Yeah.
it wasn't 5 minutes. Imagine
I
they made a
know.
whole thing
If
on
they
it.
made an
That could be
entire one, because they have
perfect.
so much lore in that series.
They
So I
do.
think it would work out if they actually made a show on it.
Man, imagine. I mean, there are already so many animes where it's like a Souls-like game
Yeah.
where they, like they kind of go a unique route. They just use their fists to fight or whatever. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and I'm thinking
I'd
of
love
that
to see
one
a
show that you
playthrough
were
of Elden
watching with the
Ring, though.
bird head. That like is literally just Elden Ring.
Yeah. Frontier. Shoot.
And then they have that Suicide Squad
I can't
isekai
think
that
of
just
it.
came out that kind of gives.
Shangri-La Frontier. That's what it's
Oh
called.
yeah. Okay, cool. More news. We got a shit ton of Gladiator 2 things, and I'm gonna hold the rant for another podcast because I'm very unhappy with the titling of this movie because it literally just is another Gladiator movie. Like, why is it in the Gladiator franchise? It has no connection at all to the fucking first movie. It just is a bunch of series of different other Roman stuff. It's stupid, but franchise, whatever.
Franchise tag.
Exactly. Someone said that someone a part of the Daredevil Born Again team said that the stakes are higher than ever. It is going to be some of the best that Marvel has ever put out, which is interesting. We got our first trailer for the next Hellboy movie, which is another reboot. And I gotta say, like, I know the budget of this one was 2 pennies and a high five, but Jesus, it looks not interesting. It like. Do you guys know what Hellboy looks like? Like, he just looks like ass in this. It literally looks like a fan creation.
It does.
Like,
Looks like some kind of movie of your life.
Yeah, it really is just so saddening to see that because I really enjoyed that franchise a lot. Those are pictures of my dogs. So they're remaking Boruto actually, which is kind of funny. Because the director of Boruto said that he understands and acknowledges fan disapproval of the show at the moment. So he is planning to start a seasonal release of Boruto, like a complete reboot of it in 2027. I think is when they wanted to start that.
Maybe I'll check it out.
I'm not. I don't fucking care, dude. Yeah. It just is like, why? I know One Piece is doing this, but One Piece also started in the 90s. Boruto started like 5 years ago.
Yeah, but
It,
it
I,
has
I,
like the same amount of filler.
it
What even
actually has
is it?
more. Boruto is
Has
the
to do with
sequel to
Naruto?
Naruto,
Oh,
and it's really
okay.
bad. Despite what
Yeah.
fans might say, it's really terrible. Chan,
How
this is
bad? Like how can it be so
really,
bad?
dude. It's like 95% filler. It's way worse than One Piece,
Ooh.
and it came out like recently.
Can you skip the filler, or is it like still like required?
No, you could
You
skip
can
it.
skip.
You could skip it.
So like, what does that mean? Like, out of like the 5 seasons they have, like 10 episodes are
Yeah,
canon.
literally. Like you
So
could catch
like
up. You could catch up in like 2 weeks, probably. Not even just a
so
casual
like
watching.
whenever it was first like watching, me and Zach did watch it whenever it was first like coming out 'cause we didn't know. And I think I at least watched up to like episode like 23 and I think I saw like 6 legitimate episodes.
It's so
And I
stupid,
was
dude.
Is the
like one
filler
of
like
them I literally
obvious?
It's
Like,
so obvious,
yeah,
dude.
the
Like
one
one of
of the
them is them
first like
eating a
one
fucking
scene,
hamburger.
hamburger. Yeah.
Yeah, the hamburger one. That is engraved in my
So,
memory as one of like the worst
yeah,
atrocities
that
I've
was
ever
my
seen.
turning point. That was the episode in which I stopped.
Yeah, I think me too, actually. All right, I
Yeah,
still have a little bit
I
of
think we
news left,
watched
so I'm gonna
it together.
grind this out real quick. Actually, I could get rid of this one because I've already talked about Shrek 5. They're doing a new anime called Lazarus from the person who made Cowboy Bebop and Space Dandy. They also are talking a lot about the John Wick director being a part of this, but I think that's just a lie that the anime news community is shooting around. Like, I think someone said that, and then everyone else has just been taking it without fact checking it. Because I decided to fact check it, and I think it's bullshit. Because I don't see anywhere that they have said that. Like, in any of the things, like it's not. He's not a director. He's not a writer. He's not a storyboarder. He's not extra help. I don't know where a single person got that piece of news. But that anime actually looks pretty good. Um, I'm just gonna go really quickly through some of these because some of these just aren't interesting. We got a new trailer for a Marvel TV show called Agatha All Along. Fire Force season 3 is coming out January of 2026. Nick Cage is going to be Spider-Man Noir in a live-action Spider-Man Noir TV show that's 8 episodes long, and he will be fighting against a series of monsters. I'm very excited for that, but sadly I don't have
that's
enough time.
awesome.
I know, right? I'm really excited for that. The people who made Arcane are developing a movie called Penelope of Sparta, which
Wait,
looks
real
real.
quick,
Yep,
is Sony doing the Nick Cage?
yep. I
Oh,
know, I know. Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, the ninth anniversary was showcased within Times Square, which was just not the biggest news, but that was something I thought was kind of funny. I'm just like, oh look, there's Broly up on the fucking big screen.
yeah.
Um, they announced a Quiet Place TV show called A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead. I mean, no, sorry, video game, not TV show. And
Right, yeah.
this is a spoiler for what we watching, but I watched the new movie, and man, I'm gonna buy that game now because I think all three of those movies are bangers. I like really good stuff.
I
And
have
you know
something else to
bangers.
add to that, but I will wait.
Interesting.
I'll wait.
Okay. Chandler, and then my final bit of news, I'm going to throw it at you because I want to actually I have two bits of news. This is not my final bit of news, but I'm curious to hear your opinion on this. The Horizon Zero Dawn TV show is canceled. Opinions. Are you happy? Are you sad? In the middle?
I do remember that. Was it gonna be live action?
Yep.
Was it gonna be by Amazon?
There's going to be on Netflix.
I am upset then. I am upset. I think it could have been good. I think they're doing so much with Horizon right now, and I'm so happy because I think it's such a niche IP, if you
Okay.
will. Um, like especially when they came out with a Lego set, like that was so jarring to me that they actually produced a Lego set of
I
all
think it might
video
just be
games.
because
They
you're
did
not within
Horizon Zero
the
and West.
community because I'm pretty sure the reason why they're trying to branch out so much is because of how popular the video games are.
Horizon's popular. Like I agree. Like I loved the games. I platted like the second game when it like a week after it came out. Like I grinded it. Like it's
Right.
it's amazing. But of all games, I just don't think that's
Okay,
one that I see them
that
go for.
okay, that's a good point actually of all games. But the thing that I'm coming from is this is gonna sound really weird, but I promise it's coming from a like a couple articles I read. the video game industry is actually almost double as big as both the music and the film industry combined. So like a niche community in the game industry is like the entire
Mm,
community of a film industry, if that makes
mhm,
sense. So like
mhm.
that's where my head was going with that. But I kind of am happy about it because I feel like the more we try to saturate that environment, the higher likelihood we're going to be continuing to get bad stuff. Like I know that The Last of Us was good, but I'm kind of worried that that's going to be like a fluke.
Oh, I think I know why. Last of Us. Yeah, Last of Us is good. I
Yeah,
hope the second season's good.
me
But
too. Yeah.
I feel bad for him because so many people hated the game that I'm sure a lot of people are gonna hate the show.
Yeah. Well,
But
actually, the season 2 of The Last of Us is actually the rest of the first game. Did you finish the first season?
I've only no
Okay.
only watched maybe one episode. I've
Okay.
never played the games. I've watched them.
Dude, I'm not going to lie, the game is only good because of the story. So if they
Yeah,
finish season 2 and it tells the first game's story really well, just don't even play the game. It's not even worth it at all.
really.
Yeah, I think so. The gameplay sucks.
Okay.
I understand if someone would like that, but the gameplay is so boring, it's crazy.
I wanted to play the remastered version or like the remake, whatever
Yeah.
it was, so that it was more modern and fresh.
That's what I tried
But
too, but I wasn't a fan.
what was what was the bit of news you said right after Nicolas Cage? I missed it. Do you remember? It was like right after Nicolas Cage,
So, fun fact
like
about how I
the
do
lore.
news is I screenshot them and then as I say them, I delete them. So, I
Let's
think
go.
it was the Arcane uh people who made the show Arcane. They're making a movie called
Yes.
Penelope of Sparta. I'm really excited for
Awesome,
that.
awesome.
I
That's
think
good.
that's gonna
I
be
loved
cool.
Arcane.
Arcane is, dude. Did you see that season
It's so
2 is the
good.
final season?
I didn't look into it. I heard something about it, but I was like, I'm just gonna wait. Just gonna wait.
It's,
'Cause
it looks so good.
I
I'm so
watched
excited.
Arcane late too, and I don't do League of Legends at all,
Neither
but
do
the
I.
show is so good.
Yeah, the reason why I didn't want to watch
I love the
Arcane was
animation.
because it had that League of Legends title on it. I was like,
Yep,
"Ugh,
yep.
I'm gonna stay
But then
away from
everyone was
that."
like, "It's good."
Yeah.
Everyone was saying it was killer, so I was like, "All
Well,
right, I
the
have to
the
try it."
thing that made me come back was Austin said like it's one of the best TV shows out there, and I was like, we share a lot of the same opinions, so I guess I have to watch this. And it
Yeah,
was fucking is incredible. We showed it to my
yeah.
mom. She loved it.
Oh, one more thing is, My Hero officially ends August 5th,
I
and
know.
Jujutsu Kaisen now entered its final arc,
Yeah,
so they will be ending this year.
I actually
Wait, My Hero
screenshotted
ends
that.
August 5th?
Yeah,
That's the
the
last
manga,
Is
the
chapter.
it
manga.
like
Manga.
ah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
whenever it's usually that, it's referring to the manga.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I was like brain farting there because
You're good.
there's the anime, it
So,
stopped, right?
I
Because like
believe so.
it hasn't released episodes, but I'm pretty sure the last time I watched an episode, it didn't like end like an arc would.
I
I
don't
So it's
wanna
like they're on
ask you
I
hiatus.
I
haven't
don't wanna
started
ask
the
you
season yet. I'm not gonna lie.
It's
yeah,
you're not missing the first 2 or 3 episodes are good. After that, yeah, it's boring. My
Okay,
opinion.
that's fair. Uh, I'm gonna say I only have 2 bits of news left. One of them I'm actually really upset about. It's actually topical. So they announced an Inside Out spinoff TV series that's going to debut. That's a big word. In spring of 2025. They are just starting it now.
Mhm.
It is
mhm,
going to be terrible.
And
yeah,
it's a TV series animated.
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be bad.
And for my
Yeah.
final bit of news, this is the best one. So with Deadpool and Wolverine coming into the MCU, we're having to raise the bar a little bit as it comes to adult humor. And one thing that Kevin Feige had to explain to the Disney staff was the concept of pegging.
Ooh.
Ah, interesting.
And I
The bar
find
has
that
been raised.
so funny to me that Kevin Feige had to sit people down and explain to them what that was. Like imagine how that imagine setting up that meeting. All right guys, it's the pegging meeting.
Yeah.
It's in the
Alright,
board is
guys,
that.
time to discuss that one thing I don't wanna
Do you
talk
think
to you
this was
about
a
ever
a
again.
virtual meeting or
Oh,
was it an
dude.
No,
in-person meeting?
in
No, it
person.
definitely was too
Do we have a
important.
demonstration?
It was
Because
too important. It definitely had a demonstration. He had a whiteboard up and he drew pictures.
Oh my gosh.
Had live demos.
You brought Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman in to demonstrate.
Yeah.
Oh jeez. All right, I'm
That's
done with my
spoilers
movie
for the
news.
movie. That's spoilers for the movie. They
Dude,
can't
we're gonna
show that.
fucking cover the shit out of that whenever that comes out, right?
No, I meant like they're spoiling
Oh yeah.
the cast or
Yeah.
whatever by showing them what pegging.
No, I get you. I just was adding to that we are definitely
right.
like there's not a chance we're missing that. Like that's gonna be a big deal.
Mhm.
Zach,
What up?
what have you been watching?
All right,
Yeah.
so fuck, we have a lot because it's been a decent period of time. It's so far back that it was back whenever I was gathering footage for Titanfall, which I've had deleted off my PlayStation for like almost 2 weeks now. But technically, I've been playing Titanfall. If you watched my video from the last week, I played X Defiant, which I also haven't been getting into as much recently because I found a multiplayer game that I adore, which is Helldivers 2. It's a really great game.
Terraria.
Terraria is also a really fantastic game too. I was playing the solo game called Darksiders, which I think I'm putting on the back burner for the Midnight Suns game, which I've started playing as well. Doom is also on there, but I'm also putting that on the back burner because even though I enjoy it, I'm just not in the vibe for it, and I already have locked in my next couple games I'm gonna be reviewing. I think so. I think it's gonna be Helldivers, Midnight Suns, and blanking. Outer
Terraria.
Worlds.
Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds, yeah. That's a fantastic game. Genuinely, I know Chandler, he hasn't explored it enough, and I know he's not a fan of the reading stories instead of getting stories like experiencing them. But I think Outer Wilds is up there as like one of the most like technically amazing games I've ever played. It's probably not one of my favorites because I can't play it very long because I have astrophobia and I get scared whenever I do things in that game, especially on the Giant's Deep, which is an ocean planet, and I have the fear of oceans as well. So going there is just like
Double whammy.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I basically I only play the game for like a loop or two, but I can't I'm having so much fun during it. I just like I do get very stressed during it, so I can't play very much. It's not my fault. I wish I could play more. What did I watch? I've been watching Bridgerton season 3, which is fucking like amazing. And I know G's way into the internet way more than I am, and she has been like repeatedly telling me that people consider this the worst season of Bridgerton, and they say that they don't like a specific character that I like. But I think I love the Bridgerton community. They have been so amazing since I started posting Bridgerton content because they have been very inclusive and they're super nice. But I don't think that they look for the same things that I look for whenever I watch something. If that makes sense.
That does.
Because season 2 was just technically not nearly at the same quality as season 1 or 3. And season 3, technically, like writing wise and character development wise, it's just the best one. It by far, in my opinion. And I can understand why someone would want a love story in Bridgerton, but I thought it was really refreshing that it was told in a different way than the other two seasons. That's quick summary of season 3 Bridgerton. I do plan on making a video about that because I obviously I enjoyed how much people watched the last Bridgerton video I made, but it was more of like the interactions of people I had because the Invincible video was fun and I enjoyed how people watched that. But whenever I released the Bridgerton one, people weren't just like talking about the show; they were like being really kind, and I really like that community. So I think that's I'm gonna continue making Bridgerton content.
You
Hell
should.
yeah.
I will. I like kindness, and kindness is just like great. If you're nice to me, I'm gonna join your community.
Just like my hero.
Yeah, dude, exactly like my hero. Best community ever. Can't beat it. All right, Chandler, you want to go next?
Yeah.
I did it on purpose, Skylar. I know.
I know.
I watched the first 4 episodes of Castlevania. I thought they were really good.
Oh.
Really fun. So yeah, we'll have to see where that takes me. But I thought it was really entertaining. And
I
fun.
love Castlevania.
I probably will never play the games because they're
It's just
2D, right?
yeah, they're 2D.
Yeah, I probably just won't.
No, when your taste is gonna develop eventually in life, and you're gonna fall in love with 2D games. That's exactly where my brain's at.
Well, I do like some 2D games, like one of the
Terraria.
things I've been playing, aside from Terraria, there's a mobile game I've been playing. Gosh, it
Dokkan.
takes up so much of my time. Like I stopped mobile games for like probably 10 plus years. I just like don't do them
Mhm.
just because I kind of grew out of it and I was like, "Oh, I could play a console game, something that's more engaging."
Yeah.
But man, this thing is like taking over my life. It's so
What's it called?
it's called like it's literally called survivor.io, but the rate at which you like level up and all these achievements, it's just like it's always keeping your interest, like you're always hooked.
Yeah.
And like you level up, it's like, oh, now I can do something new, like I have another achievement that like I can
Yeah.
fill out. Or
I think the
it's
barrier between
honestly
mobile games
addicting.
and console games is getting more skewed nowadays, especially with games like Star Wars Hunters that are releasing on both console and mobile at the same time, and they're like by definition the same game.
Hmm.
It's kind of interesting. I don't know how I feel about that yet. And that one anime game that just came out that I've seen a billion trailers for.
Oh, Dokkan.
Yeah, dude. If I could play Dokkan on the PlayStation, that'd be crazy.
I would too. I'd be so happy.
Would
Link
you?
my cat. Yeah.
I feel like Dokkan comes useless whenever it's not stationary.
No.
Oh, wait, I meant it
All
the
right.
other way around. It's useless when it's stationary. All right,
Yeah.
Shan. Anything else?
Yes, couple things. I watched 1 and 2 of The Quiet Place as well. I have not gone to the theaters yet, but I loved them. I thought they were really good.
I
First time
know,
I've seen them.
right?
They're really
Dude,
good. Very
that
good.
I like the second one a lot, but that first movie is like fucking
Yeah,
incredible. It is
it's good.
genuinely insane. And I was
Those movies are
expecting
so good.
what was it?
Those movies are really
Yeah,
good.
I was gonna make a video like a quickie on day one, but I after finishing the movie, I completely decided that I'm canceling that video and I'm making like a long video essay on all three movies because they're so
Mm,
good. They're genuinely
Okay.
incredible. And
fair.
I didn't think that day one existed. Like I wasn't aware of the movies like coming out until the day before I saw it because me and G were trying to figure out what we were gonna do one day, and she was like, "Oh, a new Quiet Place is out," and I was like, "They were making another Quiet Place movie," and we saw
Yeah.
it, and I was like, "Wow, this is just."
Isn't that crazy? Like those are the good ones whenever they come out of nowhere and they're bangers. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's always the
where was
best.
I like the past 2 years? When I
Yeah, because
right?
like I said it on the podcast, because I say movie news. I definitely
Hmm.
said, "Oh, Quiet Place Day One coming out." Just, I you say
Right.
things on this podcast, and the second you click stop recording, it's just gone, like completely,
Yeah.
Yep.
100%. But I don't know. You should watch that movie, guys. I think you guys would like
I
it a
think
lot.
I want to. I want to.
I
But
do want to.
um, the last thing been watching is Frieren. Frieren.
Oh, I've heard that's good. Yeah.
It's so good. It is so good. It is. Its genre is. mm, I can't even like tell you what its genre is because it's like everything. It's like an action anime, and then it's like more story focus oriented or like emotional,
Hmm.
dramatic, or if you will. Like it does so much,
Hmm.
and it's it's so entertaining. Honestly, it's super good. The main protagonist is so interesting, and you get to follow her character as she tries to understand humans. She's an elf. She tries to understand humans,
I just thought
and
of the
it's
worst joke on the planet. I just want you guys
really
to know that.
entertaining.
There's times in which like you think of a joke and you're like, that one's really bad, but I'm not going to tell anyone
All
about
too
it.
often.
Yeah, I think about it constantly. Chandler said something, and I was like, I have an opportunity here where I could say a really bad joke, but I decided against it. All right, Skylar.
Like it wouldn't be funny or probably not appropriate.
It
Yeah.
definitely wasn't appropriate, and there's a good chance it wouldn't have been funny.
So yes.
So, yes. Yeah. So,
That's
Skylar, you want to
fair.
hit it up now?
Yeah, sure. So I'll lead it off with one of the, kind of a little full circle moment here. I actually watched The Incredibles the other day with Lily, and I thought it was okay.
What the fuck?
Get him out of here.
You're not allowed to watch Pixar movies anymore. You're not allowed to. That's the best one.
The Incredibles is
Oh, I think Ratatouille is better. If that's a Pixar movie. Ratatouille, I think, is definitely better.
Ratatouille is an understandable like competition for Incredibles, but
It was
what the
alright.
fuck, dude? What is up with that opinion?
I know, it was alright. That's it.
Oh, that's one of those ones where you're just like, you better have been paying attention to that movie all the way through and not just on your phone. I'll kill you, dude. What other Disney movie starts off with I can't even such a good movie.
I've me and Lily have also been watching My Hero. We're now on season 5. Um, she is about to meet, is it Redestro?
Yeah,
I think it's, yeah. I couldn't remember if it was Destro or Redestro.
That's
She's
season
about
5
to, she's
though.
like, hmm?
yeah, it's My Villain
Oh,
Academia, right?
Yeah.
I thought that
I'm
was a
like
little
about to get
earlier.
there.
Is it? It's
Like,
been a while since I've watched the anime.
um, I'm before the point in which it's My Villain Academia, like right before. Um, but I am like a couple episodes after Class 1A, First 1B.
I like that one because it
That's
has
what it
really
is.
good animation,
I agree. And then
and also does Bakugo's character change a little bit.
a little bit, yeah. I think the big one comes up and then a little bit,
Well,
but
obviously, but like it's
yeah,
good. It's good. It's
uh,
where his classmates notice that he changed, not just Deku
yeah.
and the heroes.
And then I've
I
been
can completely
playing
understand if you didn't
Terraria.
like Incredibles 2. Like that one just isn't as good because
Right. I
it it
agree.
it doesn't deal with the same type of like social and political the commentary on it. It attempts to, but it doesn't pull through as well as the first movie does. Like that line, if everyone's super, no one will be. It's not just unbelievably hard. It's a really great allegory for the movie itself.
It was all right.
You can continue now.
Um,
I've been planning that joke for a
and
while.
I've also been playing Baldur's Gate, which I do enjoy. It's pretty fun.
We should bring Cassie on
I
one of
kind of
these.
like I kind of just like walk around and play like Elden Ring. I don't really take the story into mind too much. Like I pay attention to it, but like I don't know where anything is. So, and I don't really like looking at the quests. I really like just walking around and seeing if I'm too strong for this area or way too weak. So I'm definitely have to start doing some of those quests to advance the game.
I don't
But
think you're gonna get any hate for that. I think that's how a lot of people play.
and then obviously I have been reading One Piece, and I am now at chapter 615. I am in the middle. Well, I want to say the middle, but probably not the middle of Fishman Island, and it's good, but I'm still off of the highs of Marine Ford, so makes it seem a little bit worse
One
than
Piece is
probably
gonna
what it
feel
is.
pretty dead for a while for you because I think the next couple bits are, you know,
It's all right. It happens.
Chandler can
But
attest. The Fishman Island Punk Hazard hiatus it's a pretty big one.
Yeah. Very big.
Not fun.
um,
Very big. Not very good.
Not very good.
fine.
Wait,
No.
I'll get
is
through it.
there a
I
funny
like.
bit where it's like not very not good, not very bad, or something
Not
like
funny.
that?
Didn't laugh.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. Maybe I'm confusing with something else, but it's like deja vu there for a second.
Yeah,
Um, is there something
that was a
else?
lot of dead space. You love that.
Aiden has picked back up Attack on Titan, and he saw
When did he put it
Kenny
down?
Frickson whenever Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 came out.
Oh, so like a shit. Oh, you're bringing this back to 3 weeks ago. My bad. Sorry, I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
and so he's picked it up then, and he's now on the beginning of season 4. And he saw Levi versus the Beast Titan. He went
Damn,
out and
he
got a
really
Levi.
did pick that up. We were just
Hmm?
talking about him being on season 2.
Yeah,
Remember at volleyball we were or whatever wherever we were?
I
Yeah,
think it might have been
volleyball.
on Terraria. We were talking about it, or
No, because
maybe we
Caden was
talked
there.
about it more.
Yeah, I talked to Kaden about it. I think at like Sand or something like that.
Hmm.
Sand courts.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love I
Oh,
love
awesome.
that twist with oh gosh,
Baritone
I'm gonna brain fart his name.
That
What?
was funny,
Baritone Rider.
Yeah,
dude. The
well,
Bertolt and
Was
Raynor
it
twist
Baron?
is like
Yeah,
one of
I'll
the
never
best
remember
twists
his
in
name.
anime. That's a core
It's
memory. I'm
great.
never gonna forget when that happened. Because
Yeah.
I talk poorly on Attack on Titan, but it's mainly towards my opinions on the way that they thematically ended the show, not the show itself. Because a lot of the times, whenever I'm like emotionally complaining about something, it's because I like it so much. Like I don't think Attack on Titan's a bad show by any means. I just think that the ending let me down a little bit. Not in the
Mm.
animation department, beautifully animated, but
They tried getting too meta.
mhm. It made it. I
Yeah.
don't like the idea that things have to happen, and I think that's very stupid. And I felt like they they made the show feel like that, and it kind of made the. This is an Attack on Titan podcast. We should do that one of these days.
Endgame. Endgame.
I get that, but Endgame was different because they didn't care about the universe. Endgame's not a good movie. Like, and I stand by that, because all of the time travel doesn't make a lick of sense in that movie. But you watch
Well,
Endgame because of the experience behind it.
right. I kind of meant how like Doctor Strange is like there's only one
Okay,
way.
yeah, but let's be honest here. That's a load of stinking bullshit. That was only that they put that. Remember how I was talking about video games and how important the rule of it would be funny. They definitely
Yeah.
put that line in there because they were like, this would be really hard. Like this would be sick.
I
Like
mean, it is kind of cool. It's like
yeah,
there's only one way we survive this,
yeah,
and we
but
all
that's
know,
not
of
true.
course, they're gonna good guys will win, right? But man,
Yeah.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly. The rule of cool is in that one. Endgame is different because that's not a movie you rank. That's a movie that you had to be there when it came out. You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What were we? Oh, Attack on Titan. We should do a podcast about that entire series one day. I think that would like more than any other anime on the planet. That would be insanely interesting.
Yeah, that's one of them. I prefer Bob Psycho, but
Well, I know that, but I meant for the conversational aspect of it because there's just
um,
a lot to talk about. Mob Psycho is just genuinely really good and a great allegory
Jujutsu
for it.
Kaisen will have a lot.
Maybe.
Maybe
Yeah.
not.
I
I don't
guess we'll
want.
have to
Hunter,
see how
Hunter,
that one ages.
I don't want to say
Hunter,
anything.
Hunter.
Fuck
No.
that. I don't want to do that. That's so long. It's too long.
I love that
Okay,
show,
then.
except for that one arc with the insects. That
You're
that
gonna
was
anger so
horrible.
many people,
Chimera.
dude, because everyone says that's
I
the
saying
best
that?
one. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, dude. I
I'm
know.
sorry. They're objectively wrong.
That's
Their
what I'm saying.
opinion is subjective. It's
Corey
subjective.
is someone who I think shares the same opinion as me, like identically. Not identically, but very close to it. And I was watching a Hunter x Hunter with him, but he was going obviously much faster than I was. So I finished Greed Island, which I think is the one right before Chimera Ant, right, Chan?
That's like the one where like almost in that video game.
Yeah.
Right. I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So I finished that and I said, Corey, how's the next arc? And Corey said, this is the worst arc. And I just went, okay, I'm dropping it. I'm not. It's just not worth it. I don't want to. I don't want to. He said that they
Yeah.
spent 20 episodes for them to walk like 10 seconds or something, which is crazy.
Yeah. There's so many episodes in there that are just like useless, empty, and also I just don't like how powerful they are. Like they just come out of nowhere. It's like you were just born. Why are you so powerful? It was
No.
Broly.
annoying.
My brother liked it a lot, but okay. Dragon Ball's also another thing. It's an experience. It's not like a genuine ranking of things. All right, dude. This is a fucking really long podcast for Inside Out. We should probably start wrapping it up here because we're basically at the longest we've ever gone. Because we're almost at 2 hours.
Even longer than Fury Road.
I think. Well, it's longer than base Fury Road. It might not be longer than Fury Road with Gartic Phone. I don't know. But we're at an hour and 38 minutes right now. So
Yeah, good.
yeah, so we're gonna end it here. Next week we'll see you guys back with Inside Out 2 and probably less Attack on Titan conversations and anime conversations.
Probably.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Skylar's very tired. I'm so sorry, man.
Bye, have a great time.
Go get some sleep. All right, see you guys later.
See ya.